Hello everyone, this is sort of an impromptu video about the Centec 3-in-1 Portable Power Pack. You may be saying, well Dan, didn't you just buy one of these relatively recently? The answer is yes. About 3 years ago, it's hard to believe it's been that long, but 3 years ago, I actually purchased this Motor Trend compact Jumpstart from the Ocean State job lot for about $40. Of course, with tax, I paid about 40, probably close to 43, because it wasn't exactly 40. And recently I was looking at Harbor Freight's website, and I saw that this was marked down from its normal price of around 60, close to 60. It's marked down to about $44.99. And I said, well, I can't beat that. And I ended up using a 20% off coupon, and I got this for $38.51. And so I ended up getting this one, which is better, for cheaper than I got this one. So talk about buyer's remorse. But I mean, it's nice to have extra jump starting power. I also got a free pack of batteries with the coupon, so for under $40, not a bad deal. Just noticed that the test light's still on there. So what prompted me to buy this? Well, obviously one thing was the price. The other thing is I wanted something that I know is going to work. Now this one, I know some other people who own the same model or a similar model. Motor Trend is just a rebrand. They sell this same jump pack under many different names, and they do work. The thing is, it has an 8 amp hour battery and very minimal features. For battery tester, you get this. If it's green, that's good. Red, it's bad. And that's, even for me, that's kind of vague. You really have to use a multimeter to get any sort of assurance, because who knows how accurate that thing is. And it's a pretty cheap bottom of the barrel Jumpstarter. Now, for those of you who are Harbor Freight junkies, you'll know that they've had a Jumpstarter like this for quite some time, but the old one was much different. Nowadays they have the 3-in-1 and the 4-in-1. And the difference between the two is the 4-in-1 has an air compressor built in. I have a 12-volt compressor, so I didn't need that one. But this is the 3-in-1, meaning it has jump starting, accessory power, and a work light. And I'll go over those in detail in a minute. But it's changed in that the battery in this one is much smaller than the old one. It's 17 amp hours as opposed to 35. I think it was 35 in the old one, so roughly half. And some of the features have changed. If you look here at the front, you'll notice that we have two 12-volt ports as opposed to one on the side. We have longer jump leads. I'll show those close up in a second. The work light now is LED, and it has a flash mode as an accessory to your hazard lights, so that uses less battery power. It's also a bit brighter. You don't have to worry about it burning out like the old incandescent one. One thing that a lot of people complained about is this. They used to have a 12-volt gauge, or a voltage gauge, that would tell you precisely down to the volt how much power you had, and now they have this, which is empty, sorta kinda empty, and then full. Not the best system, as you can see right there, but it does work, and at any rate, it's better than what you get on there. It also has a USB charger, which the old one did not have, and that's convenient. You don't have to use an adapter to plug into one of these 12-volt sockets, and you get two of them instead of one. I think I mentioned that already. The old one had one. This charges the same way. On the back, you have this little pull-out, and you can use any extension cord to charge that. They provide this one here, which is actually a decent length. There's your normal plug on one end, this on the other, and that fits nicely onto there. Pardon the terrible camera work. I'm not a professional, in case you haven't noticed. Goes on right like that. They say you need to change it. Man, talk about a tongue twister. They say you need to charge it for 48 hours. I measured the voltage right out of the box. It was 12.7, which is fully charged. I charged it anyway. It charged for like 10 minutes, and then the green light turned on, which indicates that it's fully charged. So, yeah. So they tell you when you have one of these, both of these, Oh, one thing I forgot to mention. This can only charge off the wall using that cord. This one can charge through here using the wall charger, which is right there, or a DC adapter for the car. This one can't be charged in the car like the old one could, which is kind of a downside. I don't recommend doing that anyway because it doesn't charge it fully. But so they tell you that if you're going to use this, where's the thing? There was a little slip that was with it. Ah, here we go. This comes with it, and it tells you how to use it, how to maintain it. It says you need to charge it for 48 hours. Well, if mine's any indicator, you don't. It also says over here you have to wait 5 minutes, and if you don't, it's not going to jumpstart your car properly. My experience with that is, and I do have quite a bit of experience with dead batteries now, after just a few years of driving. It's incredible. But my experience is, if your battery is stone dead to the point where you can't even roll down the windows, yeah, you're going to have to wait the 5 minutes, no questions asked. If your engine's cranking, but it's not quite turning over, in that case, you really don't have to wait the 5 minutes. That's what I found. Feel free to do that at your own risk, but you don't always have to wait 5 minutes. So, improvements over this one, it has the 2 sockets. This one has very short plastic clamps, whereas this one actually has real metal clamps on the sides and long wires leading to them. They're coated in this rubberized plastic, but this is metal underneath all here. The frame is completely metal, so those would be quite a bit more resilient than a cheaper one like this. So those are the main differences. I don't really have a dead battery to test this out on, but you know, these all pretty much work the same. Just figured I'd make a video on that. Other things, this has pretty much everything I've mentioned. The USB port is 2.1 amps, allegedly, and it has reverse polarity protection. Alright, if I press, this is how you activate the USB. It's not by the knob, it's by this button. It also turns on the tester. You notice I probably do have to charge it for the full 48 hours after all. Oh well, live and you learn. But as you can see, it is charging the iPad, which means that this is in fact 2.1 amp output. When I plug this into a normal 1 amp output, it says not charging up there, which indicates trickle charging. So this is in fact 2.1 amp output for anyone who's interested. It also has the battery test feature that you can use just by pressing that button. Nothing fancy. And that's about it. No built-in inverter on this model. They have a $100 model that has a built-in inverter. In my opinion, that's kind of a waste. You could easily just plug a 12-volt car inverter into one of these sockets and accomplish the same thing. And you could do the same thing with the air compressor. I have a 12-volt compressor that could plug right in there. So, alright, I think that's about it for this video. Thank you for watching, and from what I've seen so far, I'd recommend it. How's it going to work under use? I'm sure it's going to work fine. There's only, in reality, a jump pack is just a battery attached to terminals. That's really all it is. So I'm sure that this is going to work fine, and shouldn't have any real problems with it. Alright, if you have any questions, feel free to leave them in the comment section below, and have a nice day.